My name is Nev. I'm a teacher in Sydney of Year 11 and 12 computing at Blackwattle Bay High School. At the moment I have two browsers open. This one is the Blackwattle site and it is the one that I want to copy. I've got Chrome open and that's in my school profile. I've then also got Chrome open in my private profile, and this is my site that I want to copy to. So, all right, I need to copy this address, Control C, and go to my private site. I'm going to click on the icon and create a new repository. I am not going to go from scratch. I'm going to import, very important. So I'm going to import, paste my copy site in, and tab. I will call it Add3. I'm going to call it _test, and that's available. All right, I need to make sure that this is public and begin the import. It's quick. It does send an email to confirm that it's all done, but it'll be there in no time. Here we go. And it's complete. All right, if I take that import back off the address, I will see it in my, here we go. All right, it's identical to the other one. It has got folders for JavaScript, Pascal, Python, VB. It's got a backup. It's got my first version for VB, and I'll create other versions, so each version will be in its own folder. VBA, in the VBA there is Excel and Access and Excel, both with VBA, that's Visual Basic for Applications. Some code in there. All right, there's an images folder. There are these files which come with GitHub, and there's an index file. Now at the moment this link here is back to the master file at bwattle. I want to change that now and make it at my file here. Now first I need to host my index page. So I'm going to click on settings, scroll down to pages. I'm going to click the master branch and save, and immediately I get the address for the hosted site. Copy. If I go to that site, at the moment it will not, it's ready already. Normally it brings up a 404 because it takes a little while before it's ready, but that's instant. Okay, so that is the front page. All these links will be wrong because some of them will be correct. That's going to Add3 in my repository, but some of them will go back to bwattle, so that should be updated. But anyway, I have got the address here, copy, and I'm going to go back to my repository. I'm going to, yes, back to the front page of the repository. Here's my Readme, that's the link that I want to update. I'm going to click on the edit button, the edit pencil, and I want to update this link here so that it's no longer bwattle, it is my name or your name when you do this. Okay, you can change other text here if you want to. I'm just going to say update, yep, link updated. And I'm going to commit those changes. The beauty with GitHub is that I can immediately go back and have a look at that change. It's imported 6 commits from the master file. This is the commit that I have just done now, and it's got the old and the new, and so the old in pink and the new in green, Unbelievable. So, all right, that is done. If we wish, we can click on that, make sure it works, and that is now going to my site here. Okay, once that's done, what we want to do is, let me go back, is download this in Visual Studio. And so I'm going to go open with Visual Studio. And I have just updated to Visual Studio 2021. So the old video that's there no longer, well, it's okay for reference, but it's on 2019, Visual Studio 2019. Okay, it brings me up this dialog. I have to have an empty folder to put this in, so I'm going to browse. I actually did create an empty folder in my Git Add3 demo, so my OneDrive, because I do everything in OneDrive, it allows me to go to multiple machines. So I'm going to navigate to OneDrive. Let me make this a bit bigger because I'm a bit lost. Here we go. OneDrive, Git, Add3 demo, and that'll do. Select that folder. So it is now in OneDrive, and that's it. Clone. It does take a minute or so to clone. Let's go have a look at the that folder that was empty now contains all of the folders and files. I didn't realize I had a copy in there. Oh, I've put it in the wrong, right. This is the one that I've just done. It does not have a copy of the index file, and you can see that the OneDrive itself is going to update all these folders. Okay. When you come into Visual Studio, it has this view. If we click on the top icon there, we can get the folder view. What we really want though is this Visual Studio solution view, because that then shows us the which are project files and which are just ordinary files. It's taking a little while. I already know now about this switching between, that's that icon, so I can take that off. All right, it's showing us we have 3 projects. One of them is Python. It's bold, so it is the startup at the moment. And one is Visual Basic, and that's going to be my master file that I always work on. And then I'm going to take copies of my version file. So this is my version 101. Let's just run the Python file for a moment because it's automatically the startup. If we run it, I probably should have a look at the different files that are in here, because I have to not only have a startup folder, but I have to have a startup file. Anyway, it's opening, and so it's going to ask me for 3 different numbers. First number is 4, enter, second number is 3, and the next number is 7. And it's going to add them up, but unfortunately it's concatenating them. And press any key and it goes back. All right, so that was, it doesn't actually have the file set, but I'm going to set this one as the, it's calling me, all right, normally in the old 2017 you could set a file as the startup file. I cannot see that here now. Oh yes, set a startup file. Okay, so sorry, here I'm right clicking and, oh, it must already be the startup file. That's why I can't see set a startup file. Okay, it's normally in bold. All right, let's make the master Visual Basic project the startup project. Now in here we have a Visual Basic file. Sorry, that is the form, and this is why you need a PC. It will not run on Mac. because it needs the Windows form component, which is not in Mac. If I open up the little arrow there and I double click on this one, I'll get my code file up. And so I've now got a form file and a code file. If I want them side by side, I right click here and choose split horizontally or split vertically. It's just being a little slow. And here we go. Okay, so I can have my, I don't need to worry about that. Okay, I can have my form here. Sorry, it's, there's lag, and so what I'm doing on my mouse is I've got a delayed reaction. Okay, I've got a little bit of code here. That code is the trigger from this button here, and I can see the properties for the button down here. So that's Visual Basic. We'll go into more detail when we create the next version. If I want to put the file back to Python, I set that as the startup project, and you'll see it's up here. I could also do it up here. I've got 3 different projects that I can run. Okay, I'll go back to the master and I'll run it. It will compile and create an exe file. While we're doing that, let's have a look and see where the exe file is. So we are in VB master, in the bin folder, in the debug folder. There is no exe there yet. Surely it's going to create an exe shortly, and it will live in that folder. Let's just see what's happening. Still not happening here, but it's taking its time. Okay, something's happening. Still can't see the exe file coming up. Here we go. It's 3 tab 7 tab 99, and we calculate the sum out, and it concatenates again. All right, that's a problem. Those of you who've got some computing smarts will know that we are dealing with text here instead of dealing with integers. So we can fix that later. Let's just check and see whether it has created. Aha, it's created several files in here, and the top one is the exe file. If I were to run that, I would get exactly the same thing. Okay, so it's created that exe file there. All right, back in Visual Studio, we have got Pascal. I've got 2 Pascal files there. I cannot run them from within Visual Studio, but I can look at them. Let's close these to stop the confusion. I can look at the code. And GitHub is going to store my code, and it's going to store my versions. And so the reason we've got them here is so that we can bump them up to GitHub with everything else. Okay, we've got 2 HTML files with JavaScript in them. Let me get rid of these so it makes it clear. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. And I can split my page. I can have design view, I can have split view, or I can have source. We'll run through how to do all that. And we have got JavaScript between the script tags. And we have got HTML between the body tags. Okay, if we want to view that file, we can come back here and we can view it from the folder, JavaScript, and the master file. Yes, we're always going to use Chrome. And here it is. We have got 268, enter, and it again concatenates. So we need to fix this. All right, so we can see we are running on the C drive here. In the old version, 2019 of Visual Studio, you could run this with IIS, but I find there's no need anyway. I'm always going to check it. If I were to make a change, I would simply Control S, Alt Tab, F5, and view my change. So that's there. That's our backup file. We've got our root folder, and in our root folder we've got an index file, which is the file that you saw before when I first loaded. So that's a rundown of how we've got 4 languages in here. Oh, I've also got a VBA folder, so that's our 5th language, Visual Basic for Applications. I can't actually run these files within Visual Studio, but they are there again so that they load up to GitHub, and the changes will be there. I have made no changes yet, so but if I was, those changes would go up to GitHub from the Git Changes tab. And so that's it for now. We're all set up here, ready to go.